Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Joy of Concrete. This is the channel where we make beautiful, fun things out of concrete. We explore concrete, we talk about concrete, we concrete concrete. I'm Mr. Concrete Concrete. Let's look at some concrete. Today we're going to be making something out of concrete using a concrete that I developed for making art, which I call gray matter. And we're going to just measure some out. I'm not actually measuring. I'm kind of measuring. I'm looking at it and I'm saying, is that enough? Is that enough to go in there? Maybe. Is that enough? Yeah, maybe just a touch more. I'd rather have a little too much and just put it into a smaller mold than not have enough. Not having enough, no fun. Hey everyone. If you're new to the channel, thank you. Thanks for checking in with us, and thank you for, oh, what am I doing? Why did I do that? Dang it. Oh, dang it, Bobby. Sometimes you start talking and you're doing something at the same time and, good enough. Oh, I flung stuff in my face. Good thing I have safety glasses on and a dust mask because I'm working with concrete. So you gotta be careful. And I got gloves on too. Protect your hands. What was I saying? Something about concrete. I developed gray matter to make concrete art with because the world of concrete is a rough and tumble construction world, and it didn't have room for an artist like me. Just kind of everybody I talked to was really adamant that I not use concrete for making art, or at least not use their concrete. So I ended up making my own. I make it sound simple, but it took like almost 3 years. It was a pretty intensive research project to actually get this going down. Why? Well, because I wanted specific properties to the type of art that I'm making. Number one, pigmenting, being able to take pigment really, really well. That's something that lots of concretes kind of suck at. And I know I'm going to get a rebuttal about this in the comments, but your average concrete sucks at color. A big reason why is that it's never tested for color consistency, and it's not designed for color consistency. Concrete in general is designed for construction. Heavy industrial infrastructure projects, buildings, like important things, and it should be designed for that. And I don't blame the concrete world for really tackling that low-hanging fruit of being like, hey, what's easy business? Buildings, sewers, roads, sidewalks. I get that. But that also comes with a few unintended consequences, meaning that the concrete, it's a highly engineered material, and it's highly designed for specific uses. And I got to the point where I was tired of trying to shoehorn something into my own use case that was designed for something entirely different. And I knew that nobody was going to help me design what I wanted because there wasn't a market for it. And even now, you and I are talking and you're saying, oh, I might be interested in concrete for art, but like that's not really the type of market that a business like Lafarge or Heidelberg or Holcim or any other huge concrete company is interested in. They're not like, oh, you know what a great market is? People making little concrete sculptures in the kitchen. We're really going to go after that. And why do I? And I can say this confidently because I've talked to engineers, marketing people from every one of those companies at some point in time to say, hey, is this an idea you'd like to get behind? And they've all said no. So here we are on our own, doing our thing, making concrete art by ourselves in our garages, in our basements, in our bathrooms, in our kitchens, in our one-bedroom apartments. in the park, on the streets, on the mean streets, making concrete on the mean streets, rebel concrete, because the industry is trying to hold us down and say concrete can only be used for sidewalks. I'm saying no. You want to say no along with me? This is looking great, by the way. So have you noticed that this concrete's a little different than the concrete you might be used to seeing? Part of it is, look at this. I'm using my hands. I'm working on a table, not in a cement mixer. Is that a little bit interesting? Is that strange? Do you know that when this concrete is fully cured, it's going to be, at a bare minimum, it's going to be about 4 times stronger, 400% stronger than just about any concrete that you're going to come into contact with in the world. Sidewalks, roads, buildings. This right here, way stronger. Why? Well, not to say that those buildings and sidewalks and roadways are made out of inferior concrete. It's just designed for a different purpose. So it doesn't need to be as strong as this, because it's not, they're not making plates. They're not making cups and bowls. They're making roads, huge chunks of concrete, not little thin bits of concrete that are all on their own. So this needs to be strong. It needs to be stronger for good reason. And it needs to want to really get to know these pigments. So what are we going to mix up today? This little batch here, this little pancake. I got 2 pancakes, big pop of pancake, 2/3 pancake, 1/3 pancake. I'm going straight white pigment. Beautiful, pure mineral pigments that we source ourselves before they hit the market. They're extensively tested. Go ask another pigment company about that. Go ask a company or a distributor, really, because you're not going to be able to talk to a company. But go talk to another distributor and purchaser of mineral pigments that are specific for concrete, and ask them how often do they check their batches for color consistency. Because here's a fun fact: never. Doesn't happen. I've dealt with, I don't know, probably about 10 distributors for pigments, and every one of them has the same issue every quarter or every half the year, however often they're buying their pigments, in that they don't do in-house color sampling. Most of them don't have a facility to do it, for one, but they don't test those colors when they get them in huge quantities from their manufacturers. They don't test them. So then, and for most of the time, it's not a big deal. When you're coloring concrete for construction, you're typically doing earth tones and grays, and you're typically mixing pretty set saturations, nothing that's subtle. No subtle pinks like this. No ice creamy, don't eat this. But you're not gonna get this color for a sidewalk or a roadway. This is just strictly for art. And because of that, it doesn't really matter how exact pigment from a distributor is, because most of their clients don't care. Their major client just is like, I want to make a gray darker. I want to make this gray a little warmer. I want to make this gray a little cooler. I want this gray to be a little bit more gray. What I'm getting at is most distributors only really deal with different shades of gray. No pun intended. Is that a pun? That's not a pun. Joke? It's not a joke either. The reference is, I'm not trying to make a reference to something. That's not a pun. What's a pun? No pun intended. Who cares? Who cares about puns? That's what I say. That's what I said. That's what I just said. Okay. Color number 2, we're shooting for, I don't know, kind of a slatey gray, something really contrasting to this pink. I'm loving the pink though. So what am I doing? What am I going to do for our color today? Well, a while back, we tried to do an ombre, an ombre. Ombre. Yeah, en français, ombre. But an ombre, a gradient, a fade, if you will. And it turned out not great. I didn't like it. It wasn't much of a fade at all. It was pretty abrupt. And, which is fair. Concrete is a pretty dense material and it doesn't super like to blend. But I actually think my last batch, I did it too, it was a bit too dry. So you got really hard breaks. The drier your concrete is, the more defined your marbling will be. There's other consequences like dealing with moisture, voiding air, all that. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go as about as wet as I feel like I can, because we're going to get a better ombre. We're going to get a better ombre. So we're going to get a better ombre. Look at that. That's a shot you don't see every day. The gun show. No, the twig show. Okay. We're just about ready. Hey, Mr. Concrete, we're doing ombre today? Yeah, ombre. Oh, en français, very nice. Very nice indeed, my friend. So, ombre. Let's get our pink a little wetter. We're not messing around today. This is going down. Looks like I had a dirty putty knife. I don't care. Now, I'm going to push my mold to the side. Get some of that right down into the bottom there. Right down into the bottom again. Give that a... So I'm just tapping. If you can see it at the bottom, I'm tapping till I get... I want a full ring all the way around the bottom. So I'm going to take my putty knife. Can you see what I'm doing? Just kind of taking it, working it down. I'm going to drag a little bit up the side. Up the side. It's already up the side. And now, it's feeling pretty wet too. Dump our... So here's a fun little thing that you get to do when you're working with gray matter. Again, designed for artists, designed for people on the mean streets, on the front lines, concrete front lines, working without equipment, no ropes, just raw human emotion, human energy, emotion. So what I'm doing right now is tapping out the air bubbles. So one of the fun things that I really wanted to include in the design for gray matter was the ability to self-consolidate, self-level, and really get rid of that air. And what that means in practical terms for you, the artist at home, it means you don't need to buy any sort of extra equipment to do vibration. Vibration can be done by hand, like this. And it also means that most of your finishing for the bottom is done right now. No troweling. Troweling's not easy. I'm done. I'm going to set that to the side. We're going to come back to that. Now here's the other crazy part. Another crazy gray matter fun fact. We're going to come back in 4 hours. Think about that. And let me tell you, 4 hours, that is 3,200 times, 3,200%, 3,200% shorter than what most concrete, how long it stays in the molds. That sounds crazy? Basically, we're going to take this out in 4 hours. Most concrete is left in forms for 7 days before popping it out. About 7 days before you actually hit a strength that you can tear down a mold and get something out of a mold and the concrete not crumble off edges and chip and all kinds of bogusness. So yeah, that's really quick. 4 hours. I call that the cured side. I'm going to catch you on the cured side in 4 hours. That was 5, 4, 5, 4. Welcome back. I'm back. Mr. Concrete. This is the joy of concrete. And it has been 4 hours since we poured this cactus planter One of my favorite things to make. Why is it my favorite? Because it doesn't take much concrete. So it means you can work really quickly. It's a great shape. It's very strong. It demolds really easily. You just saw. And ombre. Another shot of the ombre. Ombre. Not really, hey? It's just like a weird fade. This didn't really... You know what? Next time I'm going to try colors that are very similar. But it's a great casting. Almost no voids. Beautiful colors. Ombre. Ombre-esque. Ombre. Ah, this is no ombre. It's maybe. Is this almost ombre in there? Well, it's still cool. It's really beautiful. You can put stuff in here. You could put a decent sized cactus in here. Great colors. I had fun making it. I hope you had fun watching along. And you know, most importantly, I hope you saw how easy this is. The whole deal is just us, me, Mr. Concrete, trying to figure out how to make concrete so simple, so easy, and just give you everything you need to be able to do this at home and have fun. And that's the whole deal, is to show you concrete can be fun. You can do it at home. You don't need a bunch of equipment. With the right mix, you can do everything just with your hands and a putty knife, a spoon, a piece of plastic, and you can even make your own molds. You don't have to get molds from me. You can get molds from me, and I'm going to make beautiful molds, but you don't have to buy my molds. Use a cup. Use a plastic cup if you want. You can make a plastic cup thing. I don't care. I a little bit care. I care that if your project turns out or not, but I don't care if you make your own mold, get a mold from me, or buy a mold from someone else. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want as long as it's concrete. Now, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. But do concrete things. It's fun. You'll have fun. I promise. That's it. What a rant. Another attempt at ombre and another, I wouldn't say a failure. It's beautiful. It's a great thing. Here, hand spin it, but not quite there. We'll give it another shot. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in with The Joy of Concrete and me, Mr. Concrete. If you had fun today, if you want to see more concrete videos, let me know. You can just tell me about it in the comments or text, phone, email, whatever. If you're looking for more information, tutorials, color formulas, all that great stuff, supplies, hit concrete.com. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for watching. It's a big deal that you took the time to watch. I appreciate it. That's everything. GoPro, stop recording.